Triggin in the house with Marcus and Jimmy.
That's right. This is Thurston 10. Who's ready to get the party started? We are.
We're all ready.
And we assume you are, because that's why you're here.
You fucking better be ready.
That's right.
Fucking
we got
right.
some real shit today.
We have all the real shit.
The realest of shits.
I have the biggest ding pickle ever.
Ding pickle. Word of the day, ding pickle. We want you to do a shot every time you hear the word ding pickle.
Ding pickle. Ding pickle. Ding pickle.
Let's just kill our audience.
Let's just kill them all. Like,
fuck you guys.
The few people willing to listen
are dead now.
Aren't even ready for this.
Rolling in to our first topic. Speaking of killing people, Aaron Hernandez.
Oh, he killed all the people.
Trent, guilty?
Guilty, man. Today, what is it? July 8th, a guy came and told him that Aaron Hernandez told him that he killed the guy.
Yeah, like I heard that.
I mean, people say a lot of things. I'm not saying he's guilty. I'm not saying he's innocent.
He's guilty. But here's what I'm gonna say though, is that a man died, and all the people care about are the spectacle of an athlete. Like, regardless of if Aaron Hernandez did or not.
Something just got fucked up.
I was trying to make like a speech for the better of mankind.
Right.
And all of a sudden, Trent's just like not even about that.
Shot clock.
Shot clock.
Shot clock.
It's like kill clock. No offense, Odin Lloyd.
It's a shot clock.
Yeah, I think first of all, that's right. Take that pull. Maybe another one.
Yeah, keep going.
First of all, yeah, I think definitely we have to
pay our respect
to Odin Lloyd.
Odin Lloyd.
And the family.
Odin Lloyd and the family.
Honestly, for real though, we talk a lot of shit and we joke around, but condolences really to Odin Lloyd.
Odin Lloyd.
The only way we know how. But
anyway, one thing I want to say though is when Aaron Hernandez goes into a courtroom, he doesn't have the look on his face of somebody who's scared. He doesn't have any remorse. He has a look on his face of somebody who's about to get off. You know, like, he thinks he's getting off, regardless of if he is or not. He thinks he is.
And
he's guilty. He's going for life.
I mean, we need to hear the case, right?
For sure.
And the jury needs to hear it. And I think that's a big problem for him is the majority of people, after all the shit that's gone down, and Trent said, you know, it's July 8th, and they opened up the search warrants today, and said everything that they found, and I think that's a negative for him, because I think people have, for the most part, kind of made up their mind. We're all sitting here saying he's guilty, and they have to convince a jury that he's not. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. I don't know. This is a guy that, okay, there's a murder trial. And all of a sudden we're saying, well, what about that double homicide last year and that time he punched a server in Florida? And a whole bunch of new shit is coming about this guy that he doesn't look like a great guy, right?
Hold on, Marcus.
He does not look like... He looks all the guilty.
Right. No, he even got a clean service after the murder that happened. He got a clean service to clean his whole entire house. So, I mean, like, if you have to have a clean service after the day after the murder happened in your house, you gotta be at least some fingers are pointing at you immediately.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, I don't really see how it's getting off. In the same way that, like, Superstardom helped Ray Lewis and O.J. Simpson, it's gonna hurt him in the same way because everybody's made up their mind.
Yeah, OJ is completely different.
Well, like Ray Lewis, like people.
It was a singular act, and there are a whole bunch of different things in the Ray Lewis case. But this is just, it brought out so much shit that a lot of people probably knew, but if you were kind of a casual fan, you didn't know too much about Aaron Hernandez. I didn't. all these other crimes just kind of just fall out all of a sudden.
Right,
now.
like
He
seems almost like a serial killer.
Right,
at this
there's
point.
a homicide. There's a double shooting.
They're like, oh, 2 new murders opened up in
Right.
Miami. We think Aaron Hernandez did it. Like,
oh, wait a minute, this guy happens to fit the bill, and
I think the media has nothing else to report about, so they think they have to go against a professional player in any sport, and they found someone. Yeah, maybe he was last seen with that guy. Doesn't mean he killed him.
Are you
Doesn't
saying you just said he's guilty? What are you saying?
you said he's guilty, but at the same time, are you saying that he didn't kill all those other people?
Well, I think he is guilty
of this one.
Yes, I kind of contradicted myself a little bit there.
A little bit.
You're all the dick.
But like when there's nothing else going on in the world, they'll take something in the media and they'll run with it and they'll point fingers. Do I think he's guilty? Yes.
That's absolutely true.
I think he is
very
guilty.
true. I think he's guilty. I don't know. I mean, you talk about he had this Odin Lloyd, and supposedly they're saying maybe this double homicide last year. Odin Lloyd was murdered to cover up that last homicide.
Yeah, I heard
and
that.
this one in
The last
Florida, there was one. It wasn't homicide. It was a double. It was two men were shot, and there's supposedly this guy that kind of fit the bill of Aaron Hernandez, who may or may not have been in the area at the time.
Well, I mean, like they said, Aaron Hernandez was the last person seen with him. And in my opinion, I think Hernandez, he could be as rich as he is. He can sell drugs and everything. He can sell weapons, doesn't matter what it is. And one guy could have been pissed him off so much where he put him in execution style and shot him in the back of the head. The next day, got a cleaning squad, paid him off, and
if he paid off anybody to hide this murder, he needs a refund. Like,
they didn't do a good job.
They did the worst job ever. Like, if I was going to a grocery store and my bagger did as bad of a job as his cleaning crew, I would bitch out his manager.
Think, how about the Patriots offering exchanges on all their Hernandez?
Well, see, they have to separate themselves.
They do. I think it's a great move, whether or not they have to or they're obligated. It's a good move.
Would you say?
I think to me, what I don't like is that so many people complain and call them upset because we weren't in town on this day, or we bought one online and there's nothing we can really do. I mean, the Patriots can't say mail in every Aaron Hernandez jersey ever, and you get a free one.
I feel like if the Patriots, Hernandez would come to Kraft himself and be like, hey,
I killed all these people.
I did do this, but I'm not going to plead guilty. I'm going to be try innocent as possible. But, if you, like what they did, they try to separate themselves from him. You can't separate yourself from a superstar on that team. It is what it is, and you will get shit from it, even if he's guilty or not guilty.
He'll get shit, right. Whether he's guilty or not. I don't know if it's fair though to judge like the organization or Robert Kraft, right?
See,
this is a guy who supposedly he got a letter from Aaron Hernandez that said when he was about to get drafted, not necessarily by the Patriots, but he wrote Robert Kraft a letter that said, "There's rumors that I smoke pot. You can drug test me, and if I fail one, I'll pay for it." They like the sound of that, right? He's going to put his money where his mouth is.
Yeah.
But I don't think either way, unless this guy was out like telling the teammates, "I'm going to go kill this motherfucker." Like, you can't hold the organization responsible.
Yeah, for sure. You can't hold the organization responsible. However, Urban Meyer said he knew he was in gangs. A lot of teams passed up on him. He wouldn't have been a 4th-round pick if it wasn't for the behavioral problems. So teams knew about it, and the squeaky clean regime of Bill Belichick takes a major hit. Like, when they drafted him, though, they didn't have that. So How much would you say like Bill Belichick takes a hit from this?
I don't think he takes
I still think he's he's a high risk player, and I think to some point, I guess they do have to assume responsibility. But I guess no one ever thought this.
Nobody ever thought murder.
Maybe this is just something that
like,
you can't possibly
predict.
Think, okay, we're gonna draft a player. He has some behavioral issues. He smokes pot. He's in a gang. I mean, I don't know. He's a guy who came last, August or before the start of the season, is that he wanted to be a role model. So, I mean, I know a lot of players say that, but you're not. I mean, this guy's gonna turn around and commit murder.
I mean, like anybody with like a temper problem can do some behavioral.
Right.
He committed a murder allegedly.
Allegedly more than one. And allegedly involved in possibly an attempted murder and other things.
I think that he may have the murder on him and another attempted murder, but I don't think he will be prosecuted. I think he will come back. I think they'll say not guilty, and they'll put him. He'll take a year off, maybe 2 years off of NFL. He'll come back on the Patriots.
He's never come back to the Patriots.
He's never come back to the Patriots. He's never come back to the NFL. However, I would have said the same thing about Michael Vick.
Michael Vick did come back, and he sucked dick when he came back.
He came back and he had the Eagles, like a breath of life. But that's completely different. This is a completely different story.
This is a man, not a
murder.
dog.
This is murder, and this is an organization they took all his jerseys in and gave him new ones. They're gonna burn them. They're gonna try and turn him into AstroTurf. They're trying to separate themselves entirely, even if he's innocent. And I think if he's innocent, it's gonna be on some kind of technical thing. Because I think in the court of public opinion, he's guilty. Whether that's right or not, I think in the public eye, he's guilty. And the Patriots want nothing to do with him. Let's say he's innocent. Or he's found innocent.
He'll go to a shitty ass team.
He's a pariah. He will never come back to the shittiest of teams.
Like his NFL career is done. There's nothing he can do.
I mean, that's the least of things.
The Bengals passed on this guy in the draft. Like
the Bengals, the shittiest team.
They've had 8 billion people.
The Cincinnati Bengals.
Right, like they were like, he doesn't have a high enough character. The Patriots and Bill Belichick were like...
we had Pac-Man, and this guy doesn't...
You know who has...
I think he's good.
You know who has high profile, even though he has been shitted on multiple times by his own state? Brett Favre.
Brett Favre
has the records. He may have the most interceptions, most games played, most touchdown passes, everything. Record says best quarterback in NFL history. Behind Dan Marino.
Okay, that's an argument for a different. The best quarterback behind like this guy and this guy.
This guy, he's like top 7.
They're behind
probably
him.
This guy,
but he
still,
should be
okay. He's a great. We'll give him that. We'll get into the who falls
in a different time.
But yeah, he's a great. I still feel like. To right now try and have his number retired by the bat, I feel like it's too soon.
I don't think...
The measures were 420. I'm just letting the people know.
There we go. I feel like it's too soon.
I don't think it is too soon. I feel like the people in Wisconsin are so pissed off at him because he took too long to decide what his career is. He went to the Jets, not for the money.
That's fine.
Because of the love of the game.
I feel like the Jets... When he went to the Jets, it was fine. He went
to the playoffs.
It was the Vikings. It was
when he went to the Jets. I had no problem with it. Then you knew that he was trying to piss off Ted Thompson when he went to the Vikings. It wasn't even about winning a Super Bowl. It was like, how much can I piss off this guy? How much can I fuck over my old team?
Hold on, wait.
The rival.
You gotta say when he was on the Vikings. In the conference championship, when he played against the Saints and he threw that interception, that's when you think NFL might be rigged. Because you knew that interception was right to him. That interception was right to him.
We're not going to get into
are we going to get into Anderson Silva being rigged?
No, but you can look at a lot of Brett Favre has made a lot of bad. Here's the interception leader. He's made a lot of bad throws in his time.
Yeah, him and
That
Frank
throw
Harkin
wasn't rigged.
did.
This is a game that we've already looked back on and said, the Saints were investigated for a bounty on this game.
True story. I think
so. They're headhunting the guy, and he makes a bad throw. I don't think it's anything.
Okay,
to investigate for
obvious
throwing
because he has most interceptions.
But it's the fact that he went to the Vikings.
I think
he went to the Vikings.
First and foremost,
he could have signed
with
at least 10 other teams. I'm not going to say any other team because the Patriots wouldn't have taken him.
Right.
But anybody with a good quarterback wasn't going to take him. However, he made his ideas clear when he went to the Jets.
But you got to
when he went to the Jets, he was doing if I can't play with you, let me play against you.
But the thing is, you got to think, without Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers wouldn't be as great as he was because Aaron Rodgers was Brett Favre's backup.
Mm-hmm.
Brett Favre taught him as much as he knew to Aaron Rodgers.
That's not true.
That's more like I think Aaron more or less learned from Favre than he was taught. Shot clock.
Disagree.
Shregan.
Okay, are you gonna shot clock me right now?
Shot clock.
Okay, fine. If somebody calls out shot clock, I feel like you had the option to.
I took my shot clock.
You had the option to rebel or refute.
You can appeal.
But you got to think about it. When Brett Favre,
I'm calling shot clock.
Brett Favre, his first pass was to himself off of a person. Okay. Brett Favre went to 2 Super Bowls 2 years in a row. Won a Super Bowl, 3 straight MVPs. Okay. Aaron Rodgers, 1 MVP, 1 Super Bowl.
He's also 27.
Hold on. You got to also think that when Aaron Rodgers, the second season after he won the Super Bowl, they went to shit, and they've been shit since.
So, are you saying it was a bad move
They're not really
to get rid of Brett Favre in place of Aaron Rodgers? No. Aaron Rodgers is the highest paid player in the league for a reason.
We might see a man die on first and 10 because that's the ultimate shot clock. That's
kill the flash clock. In my opinion,
kill the flask.
I do agree.
Get drunk.
I agree that the first time Brett Favre, we let him go. The second time, too much. Okay, he went to the Jets. Great.
Oh, yeah.
You do your
first time. The Packers didn't give him from the Jets to the Vikings.
Right.
They gave him to the Jets, and they got Clay Matthews out of the deal. So
Clay Matthews, so good.
Stud. Right.
Probably
absolute stud.
Top 2 defenders in the league. And you know what? But you got to think, if Brett Favre never went to the Vikings would not be where they are right now. Vikings would not.
They're still not very good.
They're not good, but they were this close to playoffs.
They were in the playoffs. They were this close to the Super Bowl.
Yard pig.
We're going to take a break, and we'll be back Thirst and 10.
Strong as ever.
We're out for now.
See what you made me do?
And welcome back, Thirst and 10. That sounds like Milwaukee.
It's all the Milwaukee.
All the Milwaukee. And speaking of Milwaukee, Ryan Braun. And speaking of Ryan Braun,
suspensions.
I don't think Ryan Braun's going to get suspended. I will bet you a drink right now that he doesn't get suspended.
People write that down.
I'm bet whoever wants to take the bet right now.
I'm too Brewer fanny to take that bet. I'd love to see Ryan Braun not get suspended.
Yeah, for sure. I want no part of Ryan Braun getting suspended.
Ever.
However, to my knowledge, all they have is his name on a piece of paper.
He's on a list with A-Rod,
Gio Gonzalez, Melky, and
no guys who are known to have done some things.
Well, yeah,
and that doesn't look good.
We've all made our mistakes.
He's not answering questions. Doesn't look good either.
All I gotta say is A-Rod will be suspended, but if Braun gets his lawyers in straight, Braun will not be suspended. Guaranteed.
Why?
Well, I mean,
What's
I
the
guess,
difference?
like, to me, Ryan Braun won't be suspended because he already had his drug test. He failed. He had an appeal. He passed.
Right.
Now all we know is that he had his name on a piece of paper.
To me, that's bad for Ryan Braun.
So
he failed the drug test, and okay, he passed on a technicality. I love Ryan Braun. I love the Brewers, but it's something about on a technicality. And you watch the Brewer games in a different city, and everyone boos him. And back to the court of public opinion thing, it doesn't seem like people favor Ryan Braun.
People don't favor Ryan Braun outside of Milwaukee. However, I thought you were innocent until proven guilty. In my opinion, you're innocent. So,
Yeah.
he had his appeal. In my opinion, he's innocent. So, I don't know, like...
I don't know. I feel like we're kind of biased here, but...
Oh, we're all the biased.
All of it. I don't know. I mean, it looks fishy. And I hope that's all it is that it's just it looks a certain way.
It looked fishy. However, he was proven innocent. And then they found his name on a piece of paper. So, if, like, there was, like, a big drug bust.
He was proven
and they found
guilty.
Marcus Keys written on a piece of paper. Are you guilty?
No, but I'm going to be questioned. And then,
oh, you're going to be definitely questioned.
And if I refuse questioning, it's not going to look great. It's more than... To me, he wasn't necessarily innocent. He was not guilty.
He's in not even double jeopardy. He's in, like, triple jeopardy at this point.
It's different. But innocent is different than not guilty. They're very different.
That's true. However, like, at this point, like, he had his jeopardy. He passed. Then he went into double jeopardy. He played like half a season.
They didn't take
all of a sudden he faked I'm not gonna say he faked an injury. I'll shot clock that. But,
shot clock. Do it right now.
Okay, fine. You know what? I'll shot clock.
We're shot clocking.
Clocking them.
Hand me the shot clock, please.
And while he shot clocks, I don't know. I just think that innocent is different than not guilty. It's not like they said, you know what? Hey, the sample we ran it again, and it's perfectly fine. It was this guy kept some piss in a fridge, and some things were kind of fishy, and he waited on it. You know, it's different than him just being off.
Yeah, like, it's for sure different. However, like, he failed the drug test. He was found innocent for that.
Not guilty.
Then all of a sudden he plays one of the best years in MLB history. He doesn't win the MVP because all the voters are like, you know what? No, we think you're on steroids. He starts off this year slow. All of a sudden the rumors resurface. He has an injury.
It wasn't
now
necessarily slow. He had a good average.
He
didn't hit the ball. He didn't hit home runs.
He didn't hit a lot of home runs.
He's a lot smaller than he was.
He is a little bit smaller. So, is it because he's
Size
guilty?
Matters.
I mean, that's what she said. But
I don't know. I feel like Braun is innocent. He has evidence to prove that he is innocent. But I feel like baseball, I feel like they're like, hey,
they want it.
You know what? So many people have been guilty. If we give you innocence, then it's going to make us look bad. So I feel like Ryan Braun will be guilty even though he is innocent.
Well, where does slander and libel come into this? Like, if you just say, you know what, we think you're guilty, we're going to get a new appealist and we're going to find you guilty. At what point do his lawyers just be like, you know what, you cost this man this much money, you cost the MLB this much money, we're taking it to the court of law?
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's a lot of big words for First and 10.
Thirst and 10.
Thirst and 10 to be thrown out there.
Drink for Thirst and 10.
Drink.
Drinking.
We're drinking for
Cheers to that.
you better fucking drink for us.
That's right.
I think, but I agree. I think Alex Rodriguez, 100% guilty. I think everyone else is guilty, but Ryan Braun is going the extra mile to prove
he's an angel.
That he is
on angel dust.
Well, he's also a brewer,
but that the fact I'm a Rangers fan, and I think he is innocent. I think that he has proof with the people. He said, "Take my blood test and show them that I'm not innocent," and they have already done it. And they said, "Yeah, there are no steroids or anything in his system." Guilty. And yet, what he had STDs. They give you steroids for that stuff.
Supposedly.
And one thing too is that we're in a brand new situation. There's never been an athlete in MLB who's gotten an appeal overturned. So, like, would MLB have treated him this way if, like, Melky Cabrera gotten his appeal overturned? Would they have treated Melky Cabrera this way? Would they have treated, whoever this way?
I feel like Major League Baseball doesn't like the fact that he got his appeal overturned.
And, like, we can have, like, a whole conversation about steroids, but...
And, oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We could talk for days.
We could.
On days, like Barry Bonds. Everyone knows he took steroids. Bullshit that he beat the record of Hank Aaron and Barry Bonds. We all know. Look at him. He comes in the MLB skinny as a fucking twig. All of a sudden, he's buff as, like, fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he hits home runs. Like that, everyone knows that's bullshit. Ryan Braun, what? Same. He's the same through every single year. Like, he did not take steroids. I believe he didn't.
He's just a great hitter.
Do you consider Hank Aaron the home run king?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're also talking to a bunch of Milwaukee people here. The man with.
But Hank Aaron was barely in Milwaukee. And you know what? No. Even if he never was in Milwaukee, I would always consider him the home run king. Behind,
I mean, like,
he's always in front of Barry.
Is Babe Ruth the single season home run king to you?
Babe Ruth
is 61 the record?
Babe Ruth,
yeah,
it was 1920s.
Or Roger Maris.
No,
was it? Wait, no, not Roger. Mickey Mantle.
Mickey Mantle.
No.
Fuck. Okay.
Roger Maris, I feel like.
As they say,
Roger Maris is 61, right? I feel like it was Roger Maris. It wasn't Mickey Mantle. Yeah. He had like 54 that year. Roger Maris hit 61.
As this,
and then Barry had 73, right?
As this,
no. McGuire passed him. He had like 62.
Okay.
Because him and Sosa had like a race.
As they say, quote, from Catch Me If You Can, Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Hanks said, his father said, "Why do you think the Yankees win?" And he said, "Mickey Mantle." No. He said, because the pinstripes on their jerseys, not because of Mickey Mantle. Mickey Mantle may be one of the greatest baseball players I ever played, but he will never be a Hank Aaron. He will never be up there.
Mickey Mantle will be up there. I mean, that might
be up there for sure. I mean, you could argue Mickey Mantle's better than Hank Aaron. That's
you could
a talk for.
You could argue Willie Mays is better than Hank Aaron.
Right.
You could argue a lot of people are better than Hank Aaron because Hank Aaron never had like that one great season.
Hank Aaron also
he had like 41 home runs one year.
Hank Aaron played for a really long time as well.
Yeah, he was Mr. Endurance. He was Mr. Durable.
But this is the time before steroids, before player enhancements. He defined baseball by taking home runs and everything.
Gonna take away from the greatness of Hank Aaron. I personally think he's the best of all time.
Hank Aaron is?
That's to me. In my mind, I think Hank Aaron.
I think Hank Aaron is probably the number one baseball player in history.
With the home runs and still hitting 300 and what he went through to do it.
I mean, like, the best of all time is very debatable in baseball.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
absolutely.
You could argue that.
You could argue me, and I couldn't, there's not much you can do.
Like, you can't really argue much. Like, you can, like, baseball's a numbers game. So, if you drop, like, 3 stats on somebody, there's really not a lot that can argue about it. You'd be like, oh, Ty Cobb, Babe Ruth, Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, Joe DiMaggio. You could argue a lot of different people, but
you gotta also think, not Barry Bonds. Babe Ruth may have had, before Hank Aaron, the most home runs in MLB history, but he has the most strikeouts in baseball history because he went for home runs every single time. He is a legend, just like Hank Aaron and Mickey Mantle. They're legends. Yeah, you can be a legend, but guess what? You can take as many strikeouts as you want, but they won champions, and they took strikeouts. Because at that time, steroids? No one knew what steroids was. There was no such thing. Those are true baseball players before steroids.
Just mean swing, and eventually you're going to hit it.
Exactly.
That's my motto for picking up.
You know what I want? I want there to be somebody to pass out during the podcast. I want somebody to pups.
We're working on it.
Like, until we get there, you know.
We will get there. Don't worry.
Let's have somebody pass out.
I see Trent yawning.
Trent is yawning. Trent, would you take me through your yawning process? You know, I got tired.
He's about done. I think he's...
And then, you know, air just came out my mouth.
I think he's done. And I think we're done.
Are we the donest?
I think we're the donest of done.
Are we all the done?
We are the done of done.
Kill the beer on your way out.
Time out.
Drink.
Cheers, lads.
Cheers.
Drink to America.
Hey, America.
America.
Yum, yum. Cue the music.
See what you made me do? Shout out to old Jews and old rules.